will say when we, we'll wait till we're recording. If we can even record anymore, I may have just broken her thing.
Oh, man.
I got to look at how much that thing costs just in case.
Cartoon, like...
$6,700.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you said 400?
Yep. It works up, so don't worry about it right now.
Right now?
Right now!
Yeah.
Broadcaster.
What was
Put it on your mind. We got to have a good Eddie's recording.
Greg, in between, dropped a full bottle of seltzer on Nicole's soundboard. And then Nicole, I asked, is it okay? She goes, yeah. And then she goes, well, all the buttons are flashing and everything's playing at the same time.
The seltzer didn't spill, which was good.
Yeah. Just a blunt object.
So
not a nightmare liquid.
Yeah.
I don't usually like to do this, but if we could get a GoFundMe so that I can pay for this thing. Because I'm looking on Amazon. This thing doesn't come cheaper than $666.
Evil.
The devil's price,
The devil's price. Oh, boy. The Rodecaster, with headphones, is $819.
If I did exorcisms, I would charge $667.
Yeah, of course.
Just
Rounding up.
One more than the devil. Got you one better, Satan.
I mean, the only way for me to have known not to do that was I shouldn't have handed something over the thing. But
No, you weren't doing anything ridiculous.
No, you just dropped something.
I don't think that was a
It happens.
classic Greg
Yeah.
moment.
No. You weren't like, look how I can juggle all these balls.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We're doing a weird
Over
thing.
the equipment.
I've never seen Nicole mad, but this is the closest I've seen to her mad.
She's not mad for
now
the
she's
listeners.
smiling. Oh, no, I'm happy, but she was just going, it's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. With
think
no
she
eye
was just-
contact. And I was like, I'm so sorry. But I would pay for it. And I know I'm broke, but I would sell some action figures. I would get that thing.
What a move you just made.
What?
I'd pay for it. I mean, my life would have to.
No,
I'd
action
have
figures
to
mean nothing
uproot
to
my
me.
life, but
Yeah,
I would
I'd
do
have to
it.
lose things I
Let me
love.
just Google children donate plasma. Children sell plasma.
Yeah.
How young, too young
Yeah.
for plasma children
We were
sell.
actually talking about that the other night, how like Luke has so much he has too much
Too
plasma,
much,
yeah.
actually. We were saying
Gotta
that.
get some of it out.
We think he walks different because of it, yeah.
It's like there's like a tautness to him.
No. I would make
He
it
would
right.
have a looser gait. He would.
Sure, I'd be in the grave. Visit my gravestone, but you can record it with a beautiful new sound machine.
Could you record at my grave so I feel like I could be a part of the podcast still?
No, I'd probably steal one. I'd probably steal it. I could probably steal it. I'd figure out a way to get one for
From-
free. Amazon. I would just be like, hey, Amazon, send this to me. And then I would dress myself up in a mask and I would record myself stealing it off of my front porch, then send it to them and be like, look,
Someone took it.
someone took it.
Yeah, I think like for most returns, they don't even care. They're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Sure.
Or you could be like, it doesn't work. And they're like, okay, like we'll just give you your money back.
Don't send it back to us. We know you're broken shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you understand what happens
Yeah.
at our facilities?
No, I had a great month this month, Nicole. So I had a great month. So is the thing working? You sure?
I would have let you know if it wasn't recording.
You would have?
Yes.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
wouldn't be a
For the
lot of
podcast.
point in us continuing to do this.
No.
Or at least just sitting with the mics.
Yeah, the mics.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mics would be insane if it wasn't working.
Yeah. I can't get over. But are you mad at me? Sorry. You sure? Would you tell me? She says no.
I'm more weirded out you were trying to bring the cake home and not share it.
Oh, I will. Everyone can have cake.
I'm so glad Nicole said something.
Me too.
Well, why did someone say something? Did you guys want to eat cake? Have a cake.
Of course, man. We
course.
got you a cake to have a cake together for your birthday. I thought that was implied
Yeah.
because of the history of cakes and birthdays.
Yeah, just kind of how that goes
Everything we've
normally.
known.
No, Greg's like, do you want to open this now or should I wait till I get home?
Literally, he didn't even pose the
No.
question.
No.
He went, "This will be great for me to bring home for later. Thanks for buying me a cake."
In my defense,
As a birthday gift.
That was insane.
this is bullshit, and I will fight every one of you on this.
I really want
No human being has ever handed a person a cake in a box.
That's the least true thing
Give
ever.
me a cake. It's open. You bring the cake out. You go, happy birthday
I will say,
to you.
I will say Greg is citing some precedent.
Yes, you don't hand a guy
Yeah.
a cake, mint in card. I thought you wanted me to save it as a collector's item.
But it was a little bit like, are we going to have some now
Yeah,
or good?
yeah.
I would
Wait
love to
until
have had the cake.
we
Still
still
available.
could.
It's in the fridge.
It's
Greg's
here.
like, Greg's like, the cake has sales.
It's not my job.
My kids are gonna need it if I'm gonna sell their plasma.
It's not my job in the cake service, the cake receiver, to supply plates, cutting, and forks. When a cake is delivered, a cake is cut, handed out, shared, not in a box, tied up impossibly.
Impossibly.
I had to bite through the fucking box.
Some older Italian lady probably tied that in an impenetrable knot.
You said I got you a cake. I was like, this is a weird present to give someone a cake to
It's
take
not
home.
a present.
A present.
Well, that's how it came off. You handed it to me like a present.
There's a group of us here.
Okay, if it was a present, they would have wrapped the cake.
Also, no one said they wanted cake.
I literally said, "Oh, I would have some of that."
You were the only one.
Limey said it twice.
You were the only one.
Limey said it twice. And a
You're the
decision
only one
was
moving the
made.
goalpost. Nobody said anything. Well, you only one person, but they did say it
A
twice.
communal
was the
decision
only
was
one.
made that we were gonna then eat the cake.
All
And
right,
I
let's
just
open the
stood
cake.
there and I went, "Are
Do
you gonna?"
I gotta go?
No, we're not we're moving more stuff back and forth near the board.
You gotta drop a whole cake
No,
on
I'm
it.
dying on this.
You stay away from the board, Greg. I'm gonna go get the cake.
Oh, you're
Cut
gonna
it in
get the
half
cake?
so that I could bring
I
it.
love that this became a thing because when I came in, you were going like, so you're just gonna put the cake in the fridge? And now I know the subtext of this, which is like, oh, you're gonna, oh yeah, put the cake away if we're gonna bring it home.
Well, because like we brought it out and then it was sitting here, and it's like, well, if we're not gonna eat it,
Yeah.
put it away.
So in my defense, so this morning we don't have enough time to do anything because we're doing the podcast today, and I got to get home, and I have to come back to the city for spots, and like I've been gone all week.
Yeah.
So my wife was like, well, she was like, well, I wanted to get you a cake, but because I told her I had to take the car, and she
Yeah.
wanted me to take the bus. It's gonna be 3 hours. She was like, well, if you take the car, then I can't you get a cake, and I didn't want you to get your own cake. And I'm like, I have no time to get a cake. I don't want a fucking cake. I don't give a shit. So when Anthony presented me the mint on card cake, I said, oh, this guy saved me a trip. I thought that's what was happening.
He didn't know about that discussion.
I don't know what I've told him. I tell him everything.
That's fair.
That's
also.
very fair. That's very fair. That is
do
fair.
think someone gives you a birthday cake and you go, great, saved me a trip. It's such a funny impulse. Anthony was right. In the history of birthday cakes, it's never been like, and here's a cake for later.
Just cut half so that I could save half to bring home.
I think that's fair.
Yes.
Because my family's not
course.
eating a whole cake anyway.
No one's
And
eating
it's
all
also-
that cake is huge.
And
don't
you
even
come
want-
home and you tell your kids like, oh yeah, I ate cake without you. That's
Yeah.
not going over well.
No.
They're not going to let you have the plasma.
I don't even like cake.
What?
I like cake. Cake's fine.
A cake's great.
I'd rather a gift card.
To where?
Sports Authority.
Bakery.
Get some new wheels.
Sports Authority.
Sports Authority.
Does that still exist?
I don't think, dude.
No.
I don't think they do.
I
Right?
think just Dick's. I went to Dick's yesterday.
Yeah.
The Models by Barclays Center closed.
I
Modell's out.
know.
And I was like, damn, nothing lasts forever.
Can't
Call
go to
Wolverine.
Moe's.
Can't go to Moe's.
A friend was a high up. You know him. Who I'm blanking. Who the hell was it? Ari Finling was a high up at
Oh, yeah.
Modell's. He used to get me all this free shit.
High up.
He was a high
he
up.
wasn't.
I wasn't high enough up.
He was Modell's right-hand man.
He wasn't working the register. And then when they went out, his life went to shit, I think.
I didn't know that.
Well, it was like 5 years ago. So I think he's doing
I think
better
he's
now.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be fun. So Anthony's cutting us cake.
Yeah, while Anthony's cutting the cake, which we're not going to eat near Mike's, just
All right.
for everyone.
Yeah, and I guess we're not going to sing either.
We can
What?
sing.
We could sing. I'm
I don't
just
want
saying
you
the
to
sound
sing.
of eating is disgusting.
I just think if you're going to offer a cake, you don't hand in a box and not sing.
We're gonna sing.
We're gonna sing when we eat. You don't sing and then hand somebody a box and be like, all right, in like 45 minutes we'll cut this up. Like you sing before you
Yeah.
eat it.
Is
Yeah.
that thunder or hell? Are we all dead or is that a storm?
Is that thunder or hell? I think it's thunder. It's it's raining.
Oh,
God damn it.
shit.
Oh, I don't like that.
Fuck.
This day just keeps getting worse and worse.
Said that
Happy
someone is cutting you a cake.
happy birthday, Greg.
Yeah.
Cake that I could have brought home to my
How about
family
we
and saved a trip.
How about we introduce our guest while Anthony's cutting your birthday cake?
Oh, yes. Well, we love this guy. He's
Our
the
first
fourth
retur-
member.
Our first return.
Our
Huge
first
for me.
return.
Huge for me.
Yeah.
Well, first return that's not, hey, stick around, record another one of these. You're already here.
Yep.
yes.
Our first literal coming back.
Josh Gondelman.
Josh Gondelman.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
So glad to return to Talktown.
What's going on?
Well, I'm having, despite the horrors, I'm having kind of a nice week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which one of us is?
I'm having a great Greg's birthday.
Yeah. Well, you know who's not having a good week? Nicole, because you
I
broke her
know.
sound machine.
We'll pay for it.
No, it's
I
fine.
won't pay for it.
It's kind of like a sparkler. The sparks shooting up are like festive.
Jesus
This
Christ.
is the most spooky episode
Very
we've ever
spooky.
done.
Has there been thunder on any of the other ones?
No,
No.
I don't think it hasn't really been thundering in
Yeah.
the last year
That's
very
God.
often.
That's
I love
God.
a thunderstorm, and I do feel like there are less of them. Maybe I'm just forgetting what last summer was like.
I just want to just touch your foot. Sorry. Is that weird? Bottom of the foot isn't harassment. And I got hair. Yeah, I just need a little skin to get my birthday. God knows that's where I'm getting it. Anyway. Now, I don't know, man.
You got a special out? Let's
I
get
got
a
a
plug in
special
now and
coming
then a
out.
plug at the end.
Special out on June 27th at 8 p.m. on YouTube. I'll be in the comments watching.
Ooh,
If
I'll
this
be
comes
there.
out before then, if this comes out after then, it's already out. You probably
that- what
already
day of the
seen
week
it.
is that?
It's a Friday night.
Ah, hell yeah. Friday
Next
night.
Friday. So
This
there
will
might-
come out right after that.
Oh, perfect.
Last
well, then it's
Friday.
already out. You've probably already seen it.
Hell.
And if you haven't,
Look out,
beware.
What?
Dude, what is that?
Just something to show.
Yeah, get that on.
Some of these slices got away from
Greg,
me.
enjoy
Alex.
cake, Henge. What is that?
It's not good. Actually, that's fucking delicious.
I'm sure it looks great.
It looks really
Where did you get
good.
this from?
Yep, yeah.
So I want to say this.
Wait, what do we? We'll cut.
You're talking
We'll
in your lap.
We'll
That's
cut this.
really
Cake in your
good.
mouth.
We'll edit this together
I
so
didn't
it
chew
makes
it.
sense.
What?
I know. No, I'm saying, but you weren't talking into the mic.
Oh, right.
What are we gonna go?
That's really good cake, man. Yeah. It's really good. I can't even deny it.
This is a very. Oh my god! Like a waiter.
Help him. Someone help him.
Like a waitress.
I'll take that. I'm gonna take this.
Yep. We both immediately
Yep.
were on it.
There we go.
Thank you, Anthony.
Anthony's delivering cake.
Oh.
That's really good cake, man.
It's
Is that
so
Martha's?
funny.
What's it?
Where's that from?
No, I don't really know.
I mean,
actually,
you couldn't go to Martha's.
what's
God damn it.
Well, you want him to stop at Safeway for you too and pick you
asshole,
things
man.
up?
I'm such a bad gift receiver, and you're really lighting up the things that I do that I'm like, oh, this drives people crazy.
Ah, is this from the best place in Astoria? No? Ah, I guess that's fine. I guess that's what I mean to you.
Like I said, the other place is probably on the way.
That cake is good.
That was good cake.
Two quick things. Let me get a little bit of housekeeping out of the way while we eat cake on camera. One.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right, was it worth all the?
No. Let me say this. No, this is delicious cake, and hopefully that my family doesn't get mad that they're getting a half-eaten cake for their Luke's birthday. No, I'm kidding. For my birthday, I don't even. Anyway, so
You
real
want to
quick,
say you don't know when Luke's birthday is?
his birthday's the day before mine.
Oh, okay.
So it's his birthday then mine.
Oh,
Mine's
that's
today.
fun.
Luke's birthday was yesterday.
That's really cute.
Yeah, it's great. Real quick, let me just say this. I don't know how I would even tell them.
What's up?
Every Wednesday, we are now premiering the episode at 12 noon Eastern time on YouTube, and we are in the comments talking to people. So if that's something you'll enjoy, come join us at noon every Wednesday. Talk Clown premieres. We've done it for the past 3 weeks, but haven't told anyone really. I mean, I just say on my Instagram. So we've only been getting Chronosaurus, Carlos,
Yeah.
it's only 2 or 3 people. And I'll tell you this, I don't know if it's good because I talk through the whole thing.
It's very
so
funny.
I don't know how you could listen to the podcast
And keep up with the chat.
keep up with the chat. We're asking an impossible task, but I think it is fun.
If anything, it's like a wild thing to watch Greg in action, watch himself, and then comment on himself
Yes.
about how funny he just thought the last thing he said was.
Greg on Greg.
Yeah. Yeah.
Greg
If you ever
squared.
wanted to see Greg interview Greg and then both Gregs applaud each other for their behavior.
Between two Gregs.
Between two Gregs.
I'm trying to be better now about not hating myself. So sometimes on the chat, I will be like, that deserved more. It's going, instead of being like, God, I hate myself. I'm done. 44 years of that, I'm done. Okay? The next 12 years I'm on Earth, I will.
Greg watches it and goes, how can we get another Greg in there? I really like this. I just want more
What
of
if the
Greg.
podcast was all Greg?
Well, what I was thinking about doing.
Can you put this on the? I'm going to finish this after we're done.
What I was thinking
It's so
about
good.
doing was screen recording the chat and then me commenting on the commenting of the comments.
Talking Greg.
Oh.
Yeah, talking Greg.
Yeah,
the
talking
review.
Greg.
This is like a Robert Dean level idea of kind of recursive interiority. I love it.
You just said
And I'll
5
say
words
this.
I did not understand.
That'll be the
Robert Dean,
That'll be
first
the
of all.
Robert Dean, I
closest
remember.
Dean ever gets to being on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Well, he and I, every time when I told him I was coming back, he was like, "Finally, time to launch our podcast, Talking Talktown."
Talking Talktown.
That is Robert's
That's right.
bit. Our friend Robert.
He does want to do that.
It would be really funny.
Yes, it would be for the one person. It's for us.
I know, right? It's
You
only
don't think this guy would watch every episode? of-
Us.
He'd pay for the Patreon
Yeah.
for talking Talkdown.
Greg would lose money on his own project.
Yeah. I will say this, as I've said it once, I've said it a million times. I would love a roast one day just to know what people think about me.
Yeah,
I would love to know.
You
man.
think you want that?
Yeah, agree
No,
with
I
Leiby.
mean, I think the jokes, because I think most
Just
people would
getting
be,
water.
I would like someone to be like, hey, this is what Greg, because Greg's a liar. I go, people think I'm a liar? Like, I would love
No
to know
one
what
thinks you're a
people
liar.
no one thinks you're lying.
think.
But I know what you mean.
I know you're a liar.
I know you're a liar, yeah. Well, and Nicole before the
I think you
podcast.
move a little too fast for facts.
Yes.
I think you're.
That's
You're
actually
making a lot of excuses for a guy who just outright lies.
Lies all the time.
Too fast to fail.
Too fast for
I
the
think
truth.
sometimes you're
Are you out of
powering
your fucking
through-
mind?
Don't get that out there.
What's that
I'm not a-
expression? Like a lie can make it halfway around the world before Greg puts on his shoes.
I'm not a, so,
This is the birthday roast you wanted. It's
no,
gonna
I don't
happen.
want this. This is what it is. I don't want
I
this.
have a compliment for you because you said something so funny the other night when we had the long talk.
I keep trying. I gotta talk about. All right. After you're done with that, I have to explain what that is. I wanted to say, but go ahead.
We had a long talk, and then afterwards, Greg said one of the funniest things, and I think this applies to every podcast where you were like, the Patreon for this. Do you remember what you said? You went, the Patreon for this should be called Naming Names, and it's just revealing all the people we were talking about on the
That's
name.
very funny.
So funny.
That is really funny.
Yeah, we just welcome to Patreon. Robert Dean, Louis C.K. It's the Mad Libs here. With that one, then we just go
It's
through
like,
all of
It's like
them.
when they would do like Jerry Springer, Too Hot for TV.
Yes,
that's what I called it.
Yes.
Too pod for
Too Hot-
TV.
we call it-
Pod for
Too Hot for Talktown. We said that like a few weeks ago. We were doing Too Hot for
That's so
Talktown because
funny.
I had an idea I wanted to say.
Oh, yeah.
And Allison was like, nope. And I went, that's right. This idea was too hot.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. A Too Hot for Talkdown.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
the ideas Leiby won't co-sign.
Yeah. You guys can do it without me.
It's you, me, the
Keep the
guest.
money.
Yeah.
That's
No,
when
Allison.
next time Allison's out of town, it's the boys are talking town.
It's all pedophile and Down syndrome stories, racially explicit.
Two guys who haven't examined the nuance going, sounds pretty good to me, man. I don't know.
Hey, this is still cool, right? So I do want to say this just because Gondelman.
You're not a liar, I will say.
Yeah, I'm not a liar.
No, I'm just getting it out there.
Thank
I know you
you.
don't want. We're gonna get a little weird about that.
No, I will sometimes. Like we were with Nicole at Ben's. We were getting some bagels,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy goes, "Where you from?" And I went, 28th Street. I told him my old address
Right.
because I didn't want to deal with having to go through. I moved to New Jersey, and then I got to deal with that guy how he thinks about
Right.
New Jersey. It's like no, I will lie out of laziness, survival, and I think you're right. No time for specs.
Yeah, I
I don't remember
I
them.
think you're not getting weighed down with specifics sometimes.
Yes.
like you've got to get
Right.
a story and a point out there, and if you say a year, it's not a real year. It's not
Years-
necessary.
That's a great point. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, because
Go
my
ahead.
friend Sarah was listening to the pod, and she was like, "Wait, how old is Greg? If he was interviewing somebody on Buck Cherry's tour bus for a zine in 1996, like." And I was like, I don't know if 1996 is like a real time. He just said in 1996 and kept going to try and one up
Yeah.
Anthony on how many tour buses he's
Also,
been on.
right, that was. I think Anthony's got you. I was keeping score while I was
Yeah.
listening. I think
I
Anthony's got
don't have a good, and I think this is an ADHD thing. I do not understand time. My timeline in life, I do not understand.
Same.
I just like it was 90s, it was 2000s,
Yeah.
and that's all I know.
Yeah, 96, 99, like that, whatever. That's
and
the
also,
same.
That's the same
that's
thing.
comedy true.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know
The
what
other
I mean?
day,
like, oh yeah, I live at 28th Street. Like, it's comedy true. I don't
Yeah.
have the time to explain to you
Yes.
the whole
Right.
thing, so I'm going to get to the point of it. You have the information you need.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, for your sake, it's like, what is, you want me to know? I'll tell you this boring 2 sentences of exactly where I live. I'm saving you a couple minutes.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
whatever that time is. Like,
Exactly.
And then you having to figure out, like, be like, oh, cool. Like, we don't need to do that.
You're just relieving you of that moment.
The only time that really matters is if you're doing like an actual Joe Rogan style podcast where you're talking to where you just, because like he would do a thing like, well, my friend, he was like, well, I know a guy who they would put kitty litter in the high school. It's like, no, he doesn't. He heard a guy who heard a guy who heard a guy.
Right.
But now if you're doing like a factual podcast, now that guy matters. Right.
Yes.
But nothing I say ever matters.
Yeah, Talktown will never be cited in court.
Yeah.
I mean, no, and if it is,
hopefully.
my
Yeah.
God.
I'm waiting for it to happen.
Yeah. If
Just
it
like-
is, that person's going to jail.
Just a huge Talktown fan. Like I was trying to do the wall of frozen corpses. I just thought that's what society needed.
I don't know how to thing. I would do a thing on the stage a lot where I would talk about things people found and put in their body in ERs, whatever. And I go, because I would go, hey, any nurses? What stories have you seen? And you'd always get fun ones, but you'd always get someone who would go, gerbil. And I always got mad because people really weren't shoving gerbils in their asses.
Right.
It was a fake story that Richard Gere.
Yeah.
And Darren, my friend, who's a doctor, who's the leading foreign body expert because he writes all the articles. He likes,
Whoa.
yeah, he's like the
Whoa.
leading foreign body expert on all of this stuff. Was like, yeah, that's not really a thing we get a lot. Like, it's not a thing. It's like maybe in history, sure, there's been a few, but everyone in the crowd always wants to go gerbil. I go, that's not true. You just heard a guy who heard a guy say that, but they don't also want to be called out in a comedy show. So I just go, hilarious.
You buffoon.
I know.
You think someone put a gerbil in his ass?
Give me the real
Gerbil
ones.
doesn't even have a flared base.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
Let's get Josh to finish his what's the special called?
It's called Positive Reinforcement. It's on the Blonde Medicine, the record label I work with, their wonderful YouTube channel. I'll be in the comments. It's an album that'll be out for audio, or if you listen to stuff that way, on July 11th. And yeah, I'm really psyched. It was really fun to do, and it's been kind of a long time from when we shot it to when we're getting it out, and so I'm like really psyched for people to see it.
Yeah, I can't
Thank
wait
you
to
for
see it.
asking. Yeah.
We'll be in the comments. I'll be in the comments.
Yeah, I'll hop in.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna put up our thing because this will come out later.
Nice. Yeah.
So I'll put. So
Oh, right.
I always had this back idea of doing a podcast where I just interview people, but the idea of the podcast is that I listen to them.
Oh.
Right? Like I don't.
So not this.
Yeah. No.
Greg has
Kind of a different
explained. Greg's explained this to me as like it's a novel concept,
Yeah.
and the concept is listening.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
I'm a comedy podcast where they give me advice and they talk to me, and I honestly want to hear what they're saying, and it's great.
Wow. Can't believe no one's done it.
No one does. You watch a comedy show.
We were talking about Marin's out of the game, so there's a real
there's a whole-
lane open.
Left a void.
I'm the new Marin. No,
Who are your guys, Josh?
We talked about my guys.
yeah, we talked about his guys.
Because I want to hear who people's. It's a good question. As
It
much
is,
as
it is,
it is
it
funny
is.
the way
Yes.
he
It's
asks
just
it.
the way he asks
It's
is
so
very
funny to
Really,
say
yeah.
it that way.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it is a great question.
But the reality is, I've always had this back idea of like doing just interviews, whatever. But I was feeling kind of depressed, and so I didn't really tell you the truth. I hit up Josh because I just wanted to feel
See,
better.
Hit me up.
Sea
You
liar.
texted the group chat with all four of us,
Yeah.
and then you were like, "Wait, this is just for Josh," and then we talked about it separately.
And then we were
Yeah.
supposed to, I don't know, go fuck ourselves.
Yeah, I'll interview you guys at some point.
We talk every day.
No, but this is a talk.
This is
we
when
would
you
have
listen.
where I would listen to you.
This is listen
I
to.
would listen to
Which is
you.
infuriating because that means in the other interactions you could be listening.
And you're not.
No. The idea of this podcast is not necessarily. So we do it on Zoom on purpose because Zoom, the cross chatter is horrible. So it's the way it's not really listening so much as I go, you go, and then you go till you run out of gas, and that's the way I'm kind of doing this interview.
Right.
And then I go, oh, that reminds me of this, and then I go, and then not a
So
lot
it's
of
a conversation.
cross chatter. No, there's cross chatter in a conversation. Firing back, there's punching up.
That's an important part of it.
Yeah.
Firing back.
The firing
It evolves into like sometimes people throw rocks at you. You're escorted out of Best Buy.
My favorite episodes are when people are on my side. Just in case everyone's wondering. When we
I feel like
hand
I've
me-
been playing both sides.
just the
Josh
shit
is
idea.
Yeah.
very good.
Well, Josh is a
Lively and I-
guest.
Yeah.
it's been
Not
two-
counting
But I
Josh.
could turn.
I know you could.
It's been 2-2, and he could turn
Yeah.
at any
Let me tell you
moment.
this. I bet you, Josh, if you turned and you saw my face, you'd turn right back.
I probably would.
It is tough.
I'd be like, I can't have this on my conscience.
You
On
wear
my
your
birthday?
disappointment in a way that is like when you see like a Saint Bernard.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I go, cool.
Yep.
You go,
Yeah.
oh, So yeah, I can pay for that. I can pay for that mixing
Yeah, well, you're
board.
dead, but that's fine.
I don't know how I'm gonna, but I will.
I'll say I'm in college and take out a student loan for it. Yeah, it's easy.
Be crippled by debt forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I paid for the tires on my car. I wasn't expecting that. You know what I mean? I
You're
could pay
not
for a roadcaster.
interrogating what's happening with your finances.
Yeah, nothing about how much money you have. It's just about how you put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my tires and my brakes went all within 2 weeks.
no.
Hey.
Whew, $2,000. Goodbye.
That's bad for going and stopping.
Yeah. The whole thing was bad. And this guy just thought it was cool. He just would be like, yeah, man, get new brakes. Yeah, but $900. And I was like, yeah, man, that's a lot. And he was like, the brakes. That's how much brakes go. I was like, dude, you're destroying me. Anyway,
Right,
so
it's also like
Did you
you're
ask?
the brake store. Of
Yeah.
course, you're not stressed by how much brakes go
Right.
because you're sending them right back out the door.
Did you do a thing where you go, so let's just say hypothetically I don't get brakes. How do I stop the car?
Yeah.
Can I do the foot out the door?
Can you hook me up?
Flintstone style?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you? Let's get a saw in here. We'll get me a Fred Flintstone cutout.
I asked, there's a New Jersey gas station, and with the tires, I was like, how long can I go on these tires? And he goes, let me answer that question with a question. He talks just like me. And he goes,
Well,
I imagine everybody you encounter in
Yeah.
New Jersy is you in a wig.
I go, how long can I go with these tires? He goes, let me answer that question with a question. Do you like your children? And he's like, do you like your wife? If you're looking to get rid of them without like a whole having to strangle them and evidence, he goes, you keep those tires. They'll kill everybody in the car. And I was like, all right, man, here's the credit card. Here's my wife's credit card. Yeah. And then we did those. That's fine. But hey, I had a good month. I had Jared Freed. We did that commercial. We did a commercial for Jared Freed.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a fun setup.
Just for Jared?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah, Jared.
Jared messaged us and goes,
Yes.
Hey,
Real
wanna-
rich guy thing to do.
Yeah.
Dance for me, the poor.
I'm pretty
Dance for
sure
me.
he was like, they're not doing good. Let's just have him come. We'll put a camera in it, say it's work. I'll just give them all a bunch of money.
Yeah.
That tequila brand did seem like a fake brand.
It
Yeah.
did.
I will
Yeah.
say that.
I did research.
They're
It's
real.
The Rock's tequila.
Oh.
Jared the Rock Freed.
Yeah. So Jared messaged us. He goes, hey, all three of us. He goes, you want to come get a bunch of money and hang out? And so we all thought we were doing comedy sets.
Yeah. A show. That's what when we all text each other, be
Yeah.
like, want some money for a
Yeah.
thing at night?
Yeah.
That's a show.
Then he goes, no, it's not. It's like a man on the street thing. It was not a man on the street thing. It was he got us loaded at a bar and then
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not even on the street.
it was
No,
in a bar.
inside.
It was in a bar, yeah. And then we just like improvised some like fun lines that, let me tell you this, none of this. They're editing all of it out. All of it immediately got out.
They did it. They hired Jared, and then they got the three of us also.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I-
Petey. Go ahead, Anthony.
That's great.
Yeah,
What
it's
a crew.
Super fun.
Yeah.
What was the first bit, the first thing you said, Greg, where I was like, oh, it's going downhill fast.
Was it, you mean the first thing Greg said?
Yeah.
Jared goes, "What are we toasting to?" We all have these beautiful drinks.
Yeah.
And he goes to Greg first. He goes, "The children."
With a long stare, Greg said the children. And I could see everything in Greg's brain going,
Yeah.
say the thing, say the
Say something.
say the
Say something.
worst thing next. Say the worst thing. He didn't.
That was the
but
first thing that
It
got
was
said.
so
It's really
funny.
funny.
This
Yeah.
tequila brand was like, "All right."
Maybe
Yeah.
someone
Well,
got a promotion or
watching Freed pivot from there, he threw that whole bit away.
Yeah.
He just went, all right, we'll do open bar, closed bar next. Like, he just threw the whole bit away.
Can I
It was
tell you
so
where my
funny.
mind went in that moment, though?
I know
Yeah,
where it went.
please.
No, you. I don't know that you do.
Okay.
I don't know.
I
that
know
you
your
do.
theory,
All
but
right.
I'm eager to hear the truth.
So it went the children, and then it went. Well, you're definitely well, they're definitely going to think you're talking about the war, and I go.
Yeah.
But then my rebuttal to that is, there's always children dying. Why is no one talking about the children that are dying every day? And that's who this is to. And then Alison goes, well, this is a big thing, and then we're screaming at each other because I'm talking about the hypothetical children that are dying. Now we're talking about real children who are dying. And I said, you know what? Just stop here.
Petey's off to the side plugging dates.
Yeah.
Doesn't know what
He's
to
like, "I'm
do.
hosting later at the cellar." Anthony's like leaving.
So is, my Uber
love-
picks me up.
when you say the children, you could toast to children who are alive.
Yeah.
No, and I also have children that I
Yeah.
could have been
Yeah.
toasting. Yeah, but no, that's not
Just
as-
like my kids, they're healthy. it's my son's birthday. I love him so
right.
much.
It was his son's
it was
birthday
my
yesterday.
son's birthday
Yeah.
yesterday that
But
I
Greg
missed.
was talking about
So funny.
dead kids.
Yeah, so we did that, and then I think we toned it down. I think
Yeah,
we went.
then we got
went
it. We got
far,
in a groove.
Then we
Came
found a
back. We
meet,
found
and
the groove,
yeah.
and I think people were laughing.
Yeah.
But I think that they will use because then I saw them upstairs on a rooftop bar interviewing other people, and it was a couple of young hip black kids, and they were like all being like saying like fun, cool things, and I went, that is what they are using.
Yes,
they are not using.
What were the
44 years old, crazy over the top maniacs.
insane people who don't know how to be a part of society anymore.
I think you're gonna get yourself on there with the handshake stuff.
Yeah,
you
the
were
handshake
doing.
stuff.
The director was like through the roof about that. He made a big show. About
Who was the director?
I don't know. There were like 50 people there that could have
Yeah.
all been the director.
Greg.
Greg will have to when we're done. It's too hard and tight
Yeah,
in here. You'll have
I'm excited to see
You'll have to do
after.
all. You'll have to show Gondelman all the handshake things.
And there's like 17 more too.
Of course there
So
are.
many.
Yeah.
I didn't even use the best ones.
I think Creed unknowingly hit upon something that Greg had an endless reservoir
Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
and to watch it in action was wild.
Where did the handshakes come from?
Oh, like years of being drunk at parties, and someone gives a fist bump you, and then doing something ridiculous.
Oh, that's fun.
like,
Yeah.
Do
do
you
this.
can do
I
it to
didn't-
Leiby's arm a
So
little
yeah.
bit.
one is like the Viper, right?
You know. You said you know.
You
as
know,
if
everyone
it's
knows
yeah.
it.
We all do that.
We all
One of
know
my
it.
favorite, which is spiders, right? You crawl all the way up their arm, really creeps people out.
The other one I'm afraid to do.
Just go limp. It'll be fine.
Okay.
You'll be fine. This is called the military shake. I don't know where I found this one. The military shake, which is you stare down the barrel, sights down. Who you
insane.
sniping at? Right?
Just rattled them off.
Yeah.
It was
But these are all
unbelievable.
things that it's like, all these dance moves.
It
Like,
reminds me because I thought it was like for specific people, the way like LeBron James has a
Oh.
handshake for everyone he's
Yeah.
ever played with. I mean, these are just
No.
like you can spray these out anytime.
yeah.
Well, then there's okay, up tap, the up top diddler where you go up tap, but that really freaks people out. Those are the ones that's only for me. Sorry,
Yeah,
Allison.
that felt no. I'm okay with it, but if I didn't know you, I'd be like,
Yeah.
not this.
Yeah. And then the robot shake, which is just go. Thank you. There's a bunch more. I can't think of them right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're just awkward. A lot of those.
Yeah, it was great.
We had fun.
That's great.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
Well,
so
we all
fun.
had so many. We had to do a thing where you walk in the door.
Oh yeah, that was
Allison,
fun.
yours was great.
Yeah.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Can I explain it or do you want to explain it?
You can
can.
explain it.
So Anthony, so they set the setup is how you kind of walk into a bar.
Yeah.
And you walk in, you go, hey, I'm here. You know how you do it, right? Anthony comes in the bar and he's going to skip, like do a fun skip, but he skips so high and so far that he gets one skip and he was like over the cameraman. And he was like, what's happening? Like he's jumping on us.
Like Luigi and Mario 2.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
yeah.
There was about 4 feet of
was
usable space
He was
for me
on
to
me.
skip.
It was
crowd
Oh,
surfed.
man.
Yeah, it was. We were so much closer to you than I think you thought we were.
And I was so, because I usually with these things I'll go last, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but I was
so you
like,
had
I got
some-
mine.
yeah.
I was so excited
You were ready.
for it.
Yeah.
It ended so quickly, and no one knew how to resettle.
It was really
You were on
funny.
me.
It
He
was
did
like
skip. He was like, no.
it was more
crashed into
violent
Greg.
than I anticipated. Yeah.
I've only felt that feeling once before, and it was at a concert seeing I was seeing this band face to face, and a 300-pound man tried to stage dive on only me, and I was like, ah! And Anthony was just at me. I was like, it's too late. I can't catch him. And what it is, it is.
Wow.
This is when I was light.
Leiby's, yours was great because it was very indicative of you.
It was me.
Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
came in, and then it was like come in and like when your friends all see you, what's your move? And so Anthony's was skipping, and then mine was like, and turning around and leaving,
Yeah.
and then coming back and be
That
like,
was
just
fun.
kidding.
That was fun.
Last week, you and I were out, and we probably took one step into 5 bars and left
Oh my
immediately.
god, we really did. Everybody in every bar was the loudest person I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Wow.
It actually reminded me of a thing that I texted you guys that got no laughs because I don't think you visually understood what I was talking about. And
Bring it
just-
to life.
Yeah. When I walk, I think, and this might be a hacky 80s joke, but I realize that
That's right.
when I am stoned, I walk around like a model on a runway. I just kind of walk. I go, look around, and then I completely turn around and walk back the other way. You walk around and go, hey, I don't know, I gotta go, and then you turn around and you go back the other way. So there's probably a bit there.
I like that.
An
Sure.
80s bit.
That's fun.
Were you saying this? That was the day you were in St. Louis, and then you were going
Oh.
to the movies. Was
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that you had that epiphany?
Yeah. Did I tell you guys about that yet?
Yeah.
On
I
the
mean,
podcast?
you.
Can I tell Gondelman?
I don't think you've told Josh.
Yeah.
That was
Can I
really
tell you about
funny.
I got really too high in St. Louis.
No,
I got too high in St. Louis. We didn't tell us on the podcast?
No, we talked about it yesterday with
On the
us and
unrecorded
Petey.
podcast.
Yeah, the unrecorded podcast.
So this
Friendship.
Yeah.
Friendship colon the unrecorded podcast.
It's so funny. That's how they look at it in the future. Hey, you guys doing an unrecorded podcast? That's
Oh, cool. Can I be a guest? Sure.
Can I be a guest?
Got any plugs?
Mom, can they be a guest?
We're doing an overnight podcast.
Oh, excuse me. So I got too high in St. Louis at like noon.
Mhm.
But so my show was for like 9 hours. Not even. It was probably like 10 or 11 a.m. It was very early. I get to the thing. The fucking guy. There's this guy. I don't know if you've ever done the Funny Bone in
I
St.
haven't.
Louis. There's a guy who picks you up who is an 80s rock and roll dude who is just like, hey, what's up, man? You ever hear the band Krieger? I fucking love Krieger. You're like, you don't know. He's the lead singer from
I
the
like
Baskets.
this.
And you're like, I don't know any of these bands.
Well, Ron does a thing where he'll mention their names as if you would know them. You know
Sure.
what I mean?
Yeah,
He's like-
yeah.
And then John Bolton's there,
Of
and
course.
and you like as if you would ever know who that is.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he's a lead singer from the Pillowcase. And you're like, Pillowcase? He's like, they opened for Green Greg. And you're like, Green Greg? You know, they had the original producer
this is
from
good.
Metallica.
Yeah.
It's like 40 levels away
I
from
love
us.
it.
That's so
when,
funny.
When I
Great.
was a kid, there was a guy that worked at. We had like a coconuts or a strawberries that like switched at one point in my town. They were just like, "This fruit is too firm," or like, and there was a guy who worked there who, when you bought something that he approved, and I was like 13 and we were going to middle school, and this guy would go like, "Oh, Rammstein. You psyched for Rammstein?" And he was probably like 18. And we were just like, whenever you'd get a you psyched from this guy, we'd be like, oh, we know we're on the right track.
Yeah. To being the guy who works at the Sam Goody.
Yes.
That's right.
Not a great track.
No, but he was
Yeah, I
pretty
get it.
cool at like 18, 19, and we were like middle school kids. We were like, this guy fucking gets it.
Yeah.
Coolest guy I've ever met.
Ron's awesome. And I'll say this, though, about those guys. All they really were people whose parents let them buy their own jeans or leather jacket. Like, they don't
Buy
give
their
you...
own jeans.
Like, they don't give you a leather. I'd see the kid in a leather jacket. I was like, that guy's cool. It's like, no, he's not. His mom let him have a leather jacket. That's all that happened. Like, you see cool people go, they just dress themselves. They're not cool. They're all the same. Anyway, see, this is going nowhere. Ron,
Sorry. No, sorry. So you're in the car with a guy.
So I'm in the car with a guy, and he's like, hey, we're talking about getting high. He's like, well, we gotta get high, right? So then he starts smoking weed in the car. I do not really like that. I don't want to be in a car with someone who's getting high.
I don't love that.
But it was Ron, and I'm like, I'm not gonna stop him. Fuck it, I'm gonna get high in the car with this guy. So he's smoking weed. Now I'm smoking weed in the car. Also, I am freaking out. I don't want to be in a car getting high. I'm really very, 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 very. He drops me off, and I go, what the fuck am I
Is
gonna
this
do?
like from the airport to okay.
To the airport to the hotel.
And it's a pretty quick ride.
Very quick ride.
Yeah.
Very quick ride. I'm super stoned, and I'm like, well, now what am I going to do? I'm super high, and there's a movie theater. I go, fuck it, I'm going to go see a movie theater. I'm going to go see a movie. So I walk into the theater, and I go, what's playing? Right? And let me tell you, I must have been 75 feet away from the cashier. And she was the only one there. She sees me. She's like, what? And I'm like, what's playing? Right? And now I have a very long walk over to her. I walk up to her, and she was like, well, Mission Impossible started 20 minutes ago, right? And I was like, okay. So I leave, and I walked around. I was super high. There's nothing else to do. So I walk back. I'm not kidding. Maybe 30 minutes later, and I walk in the door. I went, fuck the beginning of Mission Impossible, right? She goes, all right. And I walk back over. She gives me a ticket. I was in that movie 8 minutes. And I've never in my life walked out of a movie before. This is the first one I went. Because later I was like, how long is it? She goes, 3.5 hours. I sat there for 8 minutes. The first line I heard was, we're in a problem no one can solve except you, Ethan. And I went, fuck this movie. This is the dialogue is so bad, and there was like an AI thing happening, and that was freaking me out. So I walk out and went, lady.
You're like, that was my best friend in this movie. And you didn't tell me.
And I was like, they're portraying my best friend in a very evil light.
Slander.
Yeah, AI is a good person who listens to my problems. And I have a caveat to that, which we'll get into for a second. So I walk out, I go, lady, no can do on the Mission Impossible.
Were you asking for a refund?
I thought we were friends, so I just walked over. So here's the thing. I wasn't. I was kind of feeling so weird that I was walking out by myself.
Yeah, you just wanted to be like, oh, I don't like.
Yeah, this isn't for me.
Everything's been so weird. You're like, I got to try and clean some of this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I walk out. She sees me walking out, and I was like, I gotta be honest. That movie is no good. It's really not very good at all. And then,
She, who, by the way, is fully aware that you walked into a movie an hour into it and you screamed at her what's playing from 70 feet away. And she's like, yeah, the movie's the problem. I'm sure of it.
You ever do something and you're like, everyone who witnessed this, like, I'm the story they're telling when they get home?
Yes.
Like, this is what that woman's partner is going to hear about over dinner.
Yeah. They'll be at a party and be like, oh, listen to my work day the other
Yeah.
night. This guy comes in.
I'm like, have you told him what's playing?
Yeah,
go,
it's
it's her
a running joke in someone's household.
Yes.
so then I was like, look, and she's like, do you want to see something else? And I was like, what else is playing, right?
It's like, there you go.
Well,
Hold
we're
on.
only-
Let me back up. And you yell it.
We're only 9 minutes into the materialist.
Scream it at me.
She goes, Lilo and Stitch live action? And I went, is it different from the cartoon? And she was like, probably not. I went, I don't think I'm going to see that. Then she goes, well, you want to go see Sinners? And I went, is it scary? I went, is it scary?
This is crazy.
She went, yeah, it's kind of scary. I went, all right, I think I'm just going to go home. And she went, hang on, I'll get you a gift card. She gave me a gift card.
That's so nice.
And I left. So now I have the gift card for
Is
a
it
movie.
for a chain or is it for like a local place?
No, AMC. It's
Oh,
an
all right.
AMC
All right,
gift card.
that's-
But it's only $14 because it was matinee. So I get half
And
a
in
movie
St.
in
Louis.
this. And in,
Right.
yeah. But
Maybe you can let them, maybe you can get someone to let you use it for just half a movie here.
right.
Yeah.
If you're like, I get
See, the
14
first
bucks,
half-
what does that give me?
Yeah, can I
Yeah,
just
the
catch
first
end?
hour of Mission Impossible.
Sure. Yeah. Or it's popcorn. Also, they weren't playing anything. Like, I asked her, she had a Marvel shirt on. What?
Just gonna use it on popcorn. Yeah, that'd be the coolest thing I've ever seen. If I was a stranger, I watched a guy walk into a movie theater, grab popcorn, and go right back on the street.
You movie theater popcorn going
Yeah.
down the street.
I mean-
I think I just saw the richest man alive.
Yes. Or the poorest.
Does he know they have popcorn other places?
Wow, he just thinks they have popcorn here.
I mean,
He doesn't know about the rest of it.
that's a fountain soda situation.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. Calvin loves, see, he watched a video on like making popcorn. So I was going to take him to the movies just as he had popcorn because
Oh.
he can't sit through a popcorn. He can't sit through a fucking movie.
Yeah.
So he's going to think movie theaters are just very expensive popcorn dispensers. So I'm going to like bring him to
I
like,
bet
hey.
he won't even consider the price.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won't. He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't know what expensive is.
Unless you're like, oh no, I had a good week. We can do popcorn.
Yeah, then he spills it on the projector. Like, I'll pay for this. I'll pay whatever it takes.
Runs in the family.
I don't know what to do. Yeah.
I guess we
Yeah.
don't need breaks.
No.
Calvin says.
I'll tell you this. I've been stopping. We got new brakes. I got $900 brakes. I've been using them things for every I'm not rolling through stop signs anymore. Complete
Crisp
stop. Yes. Complete stop. man.
Drivers and instructors are like seeing you across the street, like lowering their sunglasses. Like, hello.
Yeah, we do a complete. I don't know why we were telling that story about the St. Louis, but that was
funny.
That
funny.
It was funny.
It's a funny
that was
story.
good.
And you haven't told Josh.
Yeah.
That movie really sucked. Mission Impossible.
I'm not
really,
trying to defend.
Really bad.
No, I'm with
Impossible.
you. I'm with Anthony.
But this particular Mission Impossible is part of a 2-part series that you walked in an hour
40 minutes late.
into.
So you're three
And then
quarters into it.
You had the gall to go, this movie sucks.
I get leaving because that's not an ideal experience, but then
Right.
to pass judgment
Yeah.
on the
Yes,
movie.
on the film.
People who work in
Not
Mission
been
Impossible.
fair to Mission Impossible, dare I
No,
say.
man, you can see Tom Cruise wrote that movie. You can see he was just like, and only you can save me, Ethan. I'm a woman. Like, you could see it was like all stupid. It was all just fucking stupid. The woman said things that she would say if a man wrote a woman's lines.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
like,
most films.
Sure.
yeah.
But I will say, we were talking about this yesterday. I will say Mission Impossible, you have to be there from the, you can't, if you walk into Mission Impossible, you will pick apart the dialogue. But if you're in it from the beginning, like you'll be softened to it.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
And we discussed this yesterday, but again, I don't give a fuck about his stunts, right? Because
Yeah,
you don't even
no,
know
I'm
the
with you
stunts.
on this.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
We talked about Jackie Chan.
CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. CGI is doing a stunt before. Now you're doing the real one. I can't tell the difference. I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or also, like, there's other guys that could do it. It's
Right.
not like Tom Cruise is the best at stunts.
Right.
Right.
Or that no one's ever done this.
Right.
Other people have done it. You're just the first Hollywood actor to do
Yeah.
it. Famous actor.
And he's old enough now that it's kind of like you're like, oh, Grandpa, maybe let me drive.
Right,
Like,
yes.
I can drive.
Yeah. It's cool because he doesn't have to. It's like, yeah, fuck off. You're actually taking jobs away from
Right.
someone.
That's someone else's job.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually.
And it's also you can't get a grasp of how. I mean, you can't get a grasp of how dangerous it doesn't. When we were talking about
Yeah.
Rush Hour with Jackie Chan, you can watch Jackie Chan jump over a tiny
Yeah.
chair, and
Yeah.
you go, "I get that."
Yes.
Right.
But like Tom Cruise jumping off a building in Dubai, you're like, I have no frame of reference.
Yeah.
For this.
Right.
Those martial arts stunts were so cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
That Jackie Chan.
Oh, and
used
they
to
were
do.
fluid.
Yeah.
He jumped and like went through like a bank teller, like underneath.
Yeah.
Like what you
Yeah.
go inside a piece of paper, and then like again at the end they show like
The
in his face.
bloopers, we talked about this
Yeah.
yesterday, but the bloopers are what sells it because
Right.
you get to see like, oh, this was the danger when you see Jackie Chan go. "Oh."
Tom Cruise is like, delete the bloopers.
Yes.
Yeah.
No one sees a bloop.
Yeah.
Not a
Yeah.
single bloop
No
gets
bloops.
out. He's like putting magnets up to everybody's phone on set. No one sees Tom fail.
I mean, just put the money in that you're using for the stunt into the dialogue and have a good movie.
Yeah.
Because I love the girl who plays Peggy Carter. She's in the movie. I don't know if you guys know who she is.
What?
I assumed he was in the movie.
No, it's the girl from
Yeah.
Captain America. She's the girl who played the British Captain America. She also played she's the
The
girl.
British Captain America. Look, I'm pretty liberal on immigration.
Captain
I'm for
Britain.
pretty open borders, but I think Captain America should be American.
Yeah. He's Captain America's girlfriend he goes back in time for,
Sure.
right? She's great. And I hate to be this guy, but like, so beautiful that I'll watch anything she does. That's just a thing. Sometimes you see a girl and you go,
You
like,
haven't
I'm
said
in
anything
love with
That's
you.
like
disgusting so far.
completely like acceptable, understandable,
Yeah. Well, I'm not-
shared idea.
I'm not in love with her for her personality. I don't know her.
She's, of course,
But
you
I
don't.
look at her and I go, I would marry you. And I would.
See, this is where we're tipping.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
is the tipping
Now
point.
that is something that's
I'll
not
say this.
Yeah.
good.
If we're gonna go, go.
I would eat any part of your body starting with the butthole.
There you go. Get it
Anyway,
out.
there we go.
Get it
Sorry.
all out.
Boys are talking town.
She's
Cleanse yourself of it and go on.
so I was excited to see her, and then you see her actively reading lines. You can tell she's like, "Yes, I do need you to save me, as I'm not a capable female." Like you can see her reading this shit,
Yeah.
and she's like, "I needed this check."
And
Yeah, it's like SNL. They've got
Yeah.
cue cards over there.
I don't
We
think I've
rewrote this
ever
this
wanted
morning.
to see a movie more.
I know,
Now
me too.
You're
And
describing
it's
it.
3.5
No, that's insane.
hours.
That should be a crime.
It should be. You know what I'm gonna do? We should go see this for fun, and then when Allison agrees to it, I'm gonna get in there and actually just switch the things and make them play Andor. And then she's gonna be like, "Hey, I think I love this."
You think she's
I
not
think
gonna
you-
notice?
I think you're scaring
I'm
off
like,
Andor. I think
wow.
this needs a softer sell.
Like, oh, I didn't know Mission Impossible existed in the Star Wars universe.
Well, you wouldn't know until 5 seconds in. And let me tell you this: 5
5
seconds
seconds?
in, 5 seconds is all you need.
4 seconds of what is this? And then, oh, it's Star Wars.
No, but this second 5, you go, but I kind of like it. That's how good Andor is. It'll get you in 5 seconds.
The sell is too hard.
Disagree.
You didn't like Andor?
I have not given it a full
then
chance.
shut
No,
your
no.
fucking mouth.
I'm saying Maris and I watched, my wife and I watched the first 3 episodes of the first season, and we were like, this was really well done, and like everything about it is good, but I wasn't like in it. And I've been told a bunch of times that it really picks up, and we just like haven't taken the time to do it. So that is on me.
okay.
But I will say it is not like a grabs you within
It's
a
not.
few minutes.
Yeah.
It's a very well
and certainly
written.
not 5 seconds.
Certainly not 5. As soon as
Well,
you're like, ooh.
5 seconds until I'm sitting behind Allison going, sit down. Grabbing her shoulders, pushing her down. You're not going anywhere. Sit down.
Lock the doors.
I picture a theater full of all women Greg knows, and Greg is going from one to one.
And we're like, I want to leave.
Yeah, they're all getting up.
I just know you. If you gave it a chance, you'd love it, and then
I
we would
don't
share
Where
it.
were
Dis-
we
We would
before.
share it. We would share it.
What were we talking about? I had
Be something
something.
we could share.
A
We
talk
have
townish
this.
thing.
Well,
Not
you had
just
taco
cake.
stuff.
Yeah, John
I have a
What?
couple talk town things,
Oh,
but there
yes.
was something before we got to Andor where we were talking about Mission Impossible. Anthony said I never want to see a movie more.
Us going and seeing it.
The boys are back. The boys are talking town. It's gone.
Eating a
I'm
woman
sorry.
starting at her butthole.
No, it was after that for sure. That's kind of a real line of demarcation for me about this episode. I do have some.
Where does it end in your starting at the butthole? Where does it end?
Yeah, where do
When
you
she's finished, when I burp, when I pull her bones out of my mouth like a fish, like Heathcliff, like Heathcliff.
That was mentioned yesterday
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was
We
great.
had a lot of cat talk for what that was.
I have a question for the group, real quick. This will be a quick one.
And then
Yeah,
Josh's
I
talk
got
time
time.
stuff.
This has nothing to do with anything. People eat sardines. Are they eating the bones too?
I think it depends on the size of the sardines. I think some people are like,
Yeah, because there's a can and you just eat them. And
but
I'm
then
like,
I think
"You're
the
just eating
bigger
bones?"
ones that feel like more like a fish.
Yeah.
I think
would-
people.
Are they deboned, the little ones, though? Or no?
Oh, maybe they are.
I
I
don't know.
think the little ones are deboned.
Yeah.
I've only ever had them like popping them in my mouth
Yeah.
like they're like a snack.
Yeah, there's a comedian at an open mic a few years ago. Was it the Creek? I don't remember what it was. It was a while back when we were all doing well and well enough that we whatever. And his thing was he was eating sardines outside when people were smoking. Like that was his thing. And I was like, this is stupid. And he was like, what? I'm a sardines guy. And he was eating them. And my whole life I've been like, is he eating the bones? I don't understand what that is.
Do you remember We Ate the Bones?
Yes.
The
KFC.
KFC boneless chicken wing commercial?
Oh yeah.
That was like, this is like very unsettling.
Yeah, because they made it. Was it wings or was it supposed to be like a breast that like they were making it look
It was
like
something boneless.
Yes.
but normally is boned.
Yeah. And so people were
Okay.
freaking out. Do you not remember this?
Kind of don't remember
So
this.
it was like they ate the chicken and they were happy,
Right.
and then they were like, "Oh shit, we ate the." I mean, they didn't say "oh shit."
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
We
I
ate
do
the
remember this.
bones.
What
Yes,
ad
yes,
campaign?
yeah, yeah.
Oh shit, we ate the bones.
Fuck, is this like a dog? Do I have to call the doctor?
Will I become the chicken?
I have some talk down
I'm
things that I'd like to bring to the
excited.
floor. We don't have to spend a lot of time on any or all
We'll
of
see
them.
what happens.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Here's one. This is a tough one. This I think we should impose in talk down. 2 strikes, you're out.
Only 2 strikes.
Let me explain.
Okay, sorry.
I think
Ooh.
baseball tricked us into thinking we need to give people 3 chances. And that's fine
You're
for
right,
baseball.
dude.
Baseball, they can still have 3. But like if we were out recently at an event where a guy had to get escorted out.
Yeah.
And I think if
you mean
you're
headbutted out of the building? We saw a bartender or a manager headbutt an old drunk man into a wall at a
Wow.
children's school charity event.
What?
We did like a benefit show for Justin Tyler's kids' school that he put together. It's just like some summer fundraiser for people who send their kids to private school. And it was at this space in Brooklyn near us. And this old drunk guy wandered in and wouldn't leave. And the manager was, he wanted to escalate things.
Yeah.
But the old drunk guy got in his face. He was like, I don't have to leave. I'm allowed to be here. And he was like, it's a private event. You have to leave. And he was like, I'm allowed to be here. And the guy just fucking headbutted him. And he like hit the wall. And then he like sat with his arms crossed in a folding chair, refusing to leave until the police arrested everyone.
he did the drunk thing of like the guy called the cops. The manager was like, "Well, I have to call the cops if you're not gonna leave." And the guy that just like agitated him. And he was like, "Good, because now I'm waiting for the cops
Yeah.
that you called, and I'm gonna flip it."
I love that move.
Yeah, it was great. And then the bartender was this like woman who kept like screaming at him and video recording him like she was getting evidence in case this
God.
goes anywhere. But she was like agitating him a lot. And it's like, you're making something. He's
Right.
sitting now. Just let him sit.
Yeah.
And is the show happening? This
No, the
whole
show
time?
ended.
The show.
The show ended.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
all that is to say, you're acting out, and someone goes,
Yeah.
"Hey, man, calm down," and then you do it again, and they're like, "Okay, that's enough." This 3 strikes, and
Yeah.
I don't think about this. This is not a criminal justice system thing.
No, I get
this
it.
is just for like, that's enough, bud. You
Totally.
gotta go.
I agree. It's
It's
once you are told something once, why do you get another shot?
'Cause of
before
baseball.
then?
Baseball
Because of
tricked us.
baseball.
why are we going off baseball rules just for this?
That's
I don't know.
This is the only thing we follow the laws of baseball.
Right.
That's
Very weird.
Well, I mean, like if cops chase you to your house, that's home base. If you're at your house,
Yeah.
they're gonna arrest you. Come on, baseball rules here.
Yeah, you can't be like you take someone's girlfriend, you're like stolen base, my man.
And as long as I'm standing on her.
Don't get on the diamond then, bro.
I would argue this though. I would
insane.
escalate your plan to say, okay, I'm fine with 2 strikes, but I say no, we do make it legal. I say, or we say it's 1. I go, because here's the thing: if you can now do anything twice before you go to jail, right? Because really the problem is,
I need to tell you, this is one of the worst arguments I've ever heard from every direction.
I would argue you get 1, like you get 1. You get to fight one guy. But if you fight another guy, you're going to jail. Everyone, you stole from Target once, you get one.
So you
Second
kill
time,
one guy.
You kill one guy. You're not gonna, the reason we put you in jail is we don't want you killing another guy. But if you're never killing another guy, you don't go to jail.
I do. Okay, this is not to move on before giving your point. It's due. But I do think if you rob a bank and no one is hurt, they don't get to chase you. You get to keep the money.
Sure.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, man.
If you could successfully rob a bank without hurting anybody, that's your money.
Right.
That's
And
your
now
money.
anything that happens, that's like the cops are chasing after you at high speed. Someone's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Just let it go. It's
Yeah.
just money, man.
Yeah.
Anything
There's
you
more to
make
life. You make it. Just bring
anything
more.
you steal from an from a corporation,
Yeah.
if you're clean for 48 hours, they can't catch you, is yours. But not a person.
Not a person.
You
I don't.
know?
Of
And that's why I said
course.
specifically a bank,
Yeah.
casino, Ocean's
Yes.
11 style.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you're a person who's so rich that you've incorporated yourself, well, guess what? If I steal your money and you don't figure it out in 48 hours, that's
I
my money.
do have an incorporation, so I
Me
cannot
too.
stand for
I
this.
can't
Yeah,
stand
yeah,
for
yeah.
this. We're
I
companies.
don't have that much money.
What's the impetus for the 48 hours
Yeah.
over the just being off
Getting
the
home.
grounds?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that because it gives people the time to like really kind of notice, right? If they didn't notice for 2 days, they kind of didn't care about that thing that much. Here's the thing. Here's why 48 hours would matter to you, right? You're going to notice your money gone immediately.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
But so if I call it, if I'm like, and you're like, all right,
right.
you gotta give
Someone
it back.
stole, I'm investigating.
Yeah.
That counts.
I declare investigation.
I'll declare an investigation. Yes. Something is missing.
An investigation has been declared.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, but if they can't
All right.
declare an investigation in 48 hours, then guess what? They clearly didn't want it that much.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
Are they penalized if they declare an investigation and there was no reason for the investigation? Are they penal? You know what I mean?
Well, they have
what
to
are the
say,
stakes?
You have to say what's missing. You can't just every day go, investigation, money's gone, and
Okay.
they go, show us. And you go, $1 million. But if they're like, $2,000 is missing out of my account,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I declare an investigation. Okay. But you can't just go, something was stolen. Well, what?
I got you.
You can't just, you have to show what's gone.
Okay.
And that thing has to match what the person was taken.
Okay.
You know what I
All right.
mean? My car is gone. I declare an investigation.
Okay.
Right. Well,
I
look
do
for your
like
car.
having more proclamations because all we have really is
Grand Theater.
I invoke
Invoking
Grand Theater.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I declare an investigation, which, let me tell you this, though. I'm going to declare a lot of investigations.
I know you are.
And things show up the next
I
day.
know you are.
Oh, there it is. There's
There's
my
going to be a
wallet.
guy who's making
Yeah, just
the amount of
losing stuff.
proclamations this guy's making through
Oh,
town.
man. All
That
day.
is the we have to cap the proclamations though. It's just going to get audibly too busy.
It will be busy.
No, you're just marking it down. You just mark it down, declare an investigation, a website.
You just mark it down. Where? On what?
Yeah, well,
For
a website,
who?
on our website, you just declare an investigation. My
The
money's gone.
investigation declaration database, I'm assuming.
And then you go, investigation.
Dude, when Abraham Lincoln made the investigation proclamation, that was huge for Talktown.
Then you find your wallet and you're like, investigation complete. Then you just close the file.
I do
Okay.
taking this and running with it, I
Please.
do like the idea of like a town-wide database of like small
Yes.
mysteries
Yes.
that like you can kind of
Yes.
crowdsource, right? Where like,
Yes.
hey, like a place where you could be like, my cat got loose.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man,
My wallet was
absolutely.
been gone for a month. If I had a website where I
Yeah.
can go, I declare an investigation on my wallet,
Wait, has it?
and I found it back yesterday. Someone found it.
What were you doing in that month? For
What was I doing?
what were?
Honestly, nervous out of my mind. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
get pulled over. Credit cards were just gone. I'm just watching my accounts. I'm like, is someone spending it? No one found it. Because I refuse to ever declare a credit card stolen. Because every time I ever have, that motherfucker shows up the next day.
next
day. I understand
All
that
the next
impulse
day.
too,
So I'm like,
right.
I'm
Yep.
not changing
It's
all
like
the
a
things.
summoning spell
Yes.
for a credit card.
So, but if I declared an investigation, now we're all looking for my wallet, like a town-wide, almost lost and found as well, right? And someone goes, "Hey, I found a wallet." You can go on the website. There was an investigation declared on this wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I do. The more we talk about
That's
this,
a
the
great
more
idea.
I declare an investigation.
I declare
Yeah,
investigation
no,
is
I do.
actually good.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Now for like the small mysteries, are these people like are they being paid or this is just like a civic duty, people retired kind of thing?
You
The
mean-
gang that's investigating the small mysteries.
That's a good. Sorry. Can I? I got excited.
No, I didn't really have anything.
I love the idea of one. It's just now the town knows. If you find a wallet, you can go to the website. But there are going to be, I would imagine, a bunch of podcasters who go like, "Hey, we go on the website and we try to find all the things in the
Yeah.
content."
That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
It's a fun content finding thing, you know.
Yeah, I like that.
And then I think Anthony, you're right that it's also there's going to be some like elderly people that are like, I'm looking for a hobby. I'm
Exactly.
going to solve some local investigations. And it's not all crimes. It'll just be like,
Totally.
hey, I had this recipe. I had this pasta sauce and I had this great recipe. But I can't recreate it.
Right.
And then it's like,
Yes.
all right, well, break out the cauldrons.
We're all gonna figure
we're
it
gonna
out.
give it a shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, like an investigation to like figure out McDonald's secret sauce.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's all
'Cause
get together and do it.
If I've learned anything from my shows over at BritBox,
Yeah.
these elderly,
Yeah.
they're all want to be detectives. So this is perfect.
Yes.
Can I add another thing to the investigation tab?
Sure.
I would also like a tab that you click on where you write in your secrets that when you die, they'll be revealed. So if you have a secret,
I like
Like,
this.
what kind of secret are
This is
you
fun.
holding on to that after your death it would be fun if it was revealed?
yeah, I mean, like my son who I love isn't my real son. You know, you put that in the thing. I found out my mom was cheating on her with a husband. I can't die with this. You
What
put
a
it, and the next day it's
horrible
revealed.
life for the secret keeper.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, it's a website.
Now, did
Oh,
they
it's a website,
reveal
my bad.
it as soon as you die and everyone's like, those are Greg's secrets? Or do they are they kind of randomized? Like you're in the pool of secrets to be revealed
right.
once you're dead.
Ooh,
I would
then
say
people
this.
have to pinpoint who it
Yeah,
might have
that's
been.
fine.
That
I
adds-
think you could put your name on it, and the reason I say that is because I would like to have random priests checking that website and then giving forgiveness for the secrets after you're dead. They go like, I killed
For
a guy.
what?
Like it's like my secret is I was drunk, I hit a kid, he died, I left the scene, no one ever knew. Right? And then the secret comes out and the priest goes, I forgive you.
But you're dead.
You're dead, but you can't get into heaven until this priest forgives you of your sin. You need
I
that.
think you should have to do
Whoa.
more work than typing into whatever postsecret.com to be forgiven for murder.
Well, you're dead. So you're dead. I think all sins are
I will
forgiven
say
at
that
death.
in the secret database, that one is going to stand out.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's going to be some people
Well,
with a vested interest in
yeah.
finding out who told that secret.
On the website, we have a thing called Secret of the Week, which is the best secret. So it's
That's
like,
great.
oh, this one's a murder. It's a Secret of the Week.
I like,
And you
Like
win
an
it
employee,
postmortem.
of the month.
yeah, fuck, man. I don't know. I kind of like this. You put in your secret into this database,
Yeah.
and it's, you don't declare who you are, and then
Yeah.
once a week, someone reads the secret of the week, and then everybody in town is like, I wonder who it was. That's kind of fun.
And then if
fun.
you die,
Well, if you
it
die,
reveals that it was you.
well,
I
my
didn't get that far, but that's pretty
My
good.
part of the
That
website was
seems
that-
like what he's.
yes,
Okay.
secret.
Yeah,
You put
I
your
got
secrets
no
in when you
issues with
die.
that.
The secret is revealed,
Right.
And then you go like, "Hey, I got a bad secret. When I die, I bet you I'll win Secret of the Week, right?" And then it comes up. We go, "Well, that's definitely the best secret," and he's dead. So whatever. What can you do? I guess you're not getting his money. We're giving it to the parents of the child he killed. So Secret of the Week.
Was that what for the children was yesterday?
and then they go, another successful secret of the week, I guess.
That's the best.
I got another cold case we can finally put to bed.
Yeah.
The Cold Case, the TV show, is originally supposed to be called Secret of
Well,
the Week.
sometimes,
of the Week.
every now and again, the declare an investigation and Secret of the
Oh,
Week
they come
match
together.
up.
Yes.
They solve each other out. That's why it's on the same website.
That's why it's another tab. I get it now.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the vision.
Yeah. You see, it'll connect. Secret of the Week.
Okay, I got a couple more.
Sure.
Please.
Great.
Oh, this is big. I think I'm gonna get unanimous approval on
All
this.
right.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, you always will. I don't care. I agree with everything. I just add my own caveat.
Sometimes caveat is the opposite of the original.
Yeah, sometimes it is the complete opposite. Sometimes it's just a story he wanted to tell.
Yeah, set the timer. I'm talking.
Okay, next one. So, people, this is not to root it too deeply in the real world, but the other day, a friend of mine, and I think she was absolutely right to say this, posted on Instagram. She was like, seems like our country is about to go to war. That's bad and wrong. You got to call your representatives and tell them that that's wrong and that you don't support it. And I was like, she's totally right. And I think that's the system we have. But I got to call a senator and convince him not to go to war. Like, that's me. Like, I was like,
That can't be on me.
sometimes I can't convince my wife that we should have Indian food for dinner.
Yeah, my track record is not great.
And I have to like outdo like the entire media apparatus and military industrial complex in like a 30-second phone call to an assistant. So here's my Talktown pitch. When there's a big decision, because I think my reps should know mostly what we want.
Yeah.
If it's on the slate, if it's like the things that they said they stand for, I shouldn't have to call and be like, still with you, bud. But
Yes.
I think if they're up on the horns of a real thorny dilemma of like, I don't know what to do, your reps should have to be on the phone calling you.
Yes.
They should just be calling down a bunch of random numbers and be like, hey man, what do you think about this?
Right. Should
And
we
they
go to war?
And they should have to talk to you as long as you want to keep them on the line.
Yes.
Man, God, if they get to Greg,
That's the day.
hold all my calls.
Let me add a caveat to this. I think we should rank everybody in the town by how smart they are. And this way they start with the smartest people to get the best
interesting,
ideas
like
first.
advisors.
Oh, yeah,
Sure.
okay.
You know what I mean? It's
All
like,
right.
why are they calling me when they got like Taco, our friend who's
Totally.
a physics teacher?
Yeah.
Call him first. Call the doctors. Then you get to the people who are living
The
on the street.
podcasters.
Yeah, the podcasters
Podcasters last.
whose voices are the loudest.
Yes. Yeah, we don't need somebody to call us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for those, I think the time of call maybe gets smaller as you get to the dumber. I'm putting myself
yeah.
in the
You
dumber.
got 2 minutes.
Yeah,
So.
Substitute teacher, I'm on and off. 75 credits for that job. I don't think so, pal.
What?
I need 75 credits to be a substitute teacher. 75 college credits. And guess what? I got
Oh.
73. They won't let me at it. So what are you doing? I was going to try to be a sub. They won't let me. I'm not smart enough.
man?
Just saying on
Are
the
you still
list.
here?
Yeah, I was trying to make some extra money being a substitute teacher, but I don't have enough college credits. And whatever. Just saying.
Oh man,
Their voice is the lowest. I don't think it went that far.
Dude, this was a Simpsons episode opening.
Yes.
Man, what?
Yeah, I was single-handedly making fun of someone who was also me. I was like, "You're a fucking idiot." I'm like, "I'm the idiot." Turns out,
I've never seen this in conversation before. I've had a lot of conversations. I've never seen that happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that crazy.
It was incredible.
It was.
It was like martial arts.
Because you talk to me as if like you were answering me or talking
I
to
was.
me.
But
The idiots go last.
I know.
And the idiots are the substitute teachers. And then the substitute teacher goes, "Hey, I'm a substitute." I go, "Guess what? I couldn't even be one. I tried to be one. So before you're mad at me, understand I'm dumber than even you."
who's mad at you?
The listeners who are substitute teachers that I just
over us.
insulted.
That was insane.
I'm always prepared for a fight. These fucking idiot substitute teachers don't get a lot of time on the horn. But I'm too dumb to even be them. So
On
why
the
are they
horn.
mad?
Get it.
You get it?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Are you
I know what
following?
happened.
I
It was
just
just
understand why
shocking.
it was happening right now.
Breathtaking.
I don't know.
It was like watching Tony Hawk land a 900.
It's my birthday. You guys should just yes and
It
it.
didn't even occur to me that the human brain or body could do that.
Yeah, man.
I don't
How could
know.
we possibly follow along?
I don't know how many college credits you have.
73.
Like, I do now, but I did it then. Like,
73 that count.
What does that
And I'll
mean?
say,
Well, I had more, but turns out remedial classes that you were supposed to have taken in high school that you
okay.
had to do in college.
Got it.
They
Got
don't
it, got
count them, but they took my money for them. They took my fucking money for them. And then also there were some college credits that I owe William Patterson money that I never paid. And they're like, "Well, you don't get to have those credits." But I go, "Well, I took the classes." And they go, "But you never paid for the classes." Well, I go, "Well, I have the knowledge that I forgot anyway. Just let me be a sub." And they're like, "No." Can't be a sub.
So you're not getting a lot of
Hey,
time
man.
on the phone with your senators.
long story short, yeah, you're getting no time, but you are 2 credits away from being a substitute teacher. We gotta get you those 2
Yeah.
credits just so we can get you in a classroom.
Yeah.
How do you get them?
kids,
Patreon listeners.
What college will take
You
me?
gotta get.
how do you get them?
Anyone
How
out
did you
there-
get the first 73?
I just walked into a college I didn't pay for, started taking classes. They told me to leave, and I fucking yelled at them, "Where are my credits?" They say, "You didn't go through any of the things."
This
No.
is like a fucking
Wow.
like a 90s comedy.
Yeah.
You're like living Billy Madison.
Yes.
I went to Bergen Community College for a few semesters, right? And then
Okay.
I transferred to William Patterson. When I went to William Patterson, I fell snowboarding and I broke my tailbone. And I first of all, I told you this story.
They don't know it though.
They don't know. Can I tell you this real quick?
Yeah,
Do we have a
Tell them the
minute?
story.
I want to know who you blame for your snowboarding
So-
injury.
Ooh.
How about this? I think the company's out of business. Who knows? Anyway, I went snowboarding.
Nike.
So it was like September, so snow was kind of
September.
melting.
Where
Where
were
were you snowboarding in September?
Mountain Creek. but there was not a lot of snow. So I fell.
Hence the breaking of the
makes sense
tailbone.
if you do the math.
Greg went snowboarding on a grass field.
It's like a body of water.
A lot of slush.
Snowboarding in a creek.
Slush.
A lot of
Why
slush.
was there even slush?
be-
September is
to be-
summer.
Dude, you've never heard of slush timber?
That's a promo at 7-Eleven.
Maybe it wasn't September.
September would be crazy.
I'm thinking of the reverse.
March.
The end of winter.
March. Like March, April.
I'm starting, it's coming into
March,
focus.
April works a lot
Also,
better.
none of
Do
this
you
makes a lot of
remember?
sense because it was the beginning of my college. I don't know what happened. Somehow,
60
I was
years
snowboarding. I fell. I got hurt. I went to work the next day, and my ass was hurting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, this fucking thing ass." So I walk out. I go to security.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
I'm sorry, what did you just skip over
What
very
was that
quickly
line?
there?
My ass was hurting.
Yeah.
And then what'd you say after that?
I walked out to security.
No, there
No.
was something else.
There was a
thing that you
sentence.
just. Do you even know you said it?
No, I have no idea.
We'll find it in a playback.
Hey, guess what? On the rewatch, I'm going to hear it. And I'm going to be in the comments talking about it. And I'll
gonna
send
miss
you a
it.
text.
You're gonna miss it because you're gonna be talking about yourself saying the thing before it.
Yeah. So I fell snowboarding on my ass, and it really hurt. And so I went I'm in the stock room, and I was like, oh, my ass hurts, right? So I went to security. I was like, I just fell off a ladder, and I hurt my butt. I think I got to go home. And the manager goes, no, you fell off a ladder? They were like, we're taking you to the hospital. They take me to the hospital. I go, well, I am in too deep on this now, right? I guess I got to go to the hospital, right? They take me to the hospital, and somehow they were like, oh, you broke a piece of your tailbone, but there's not much we do.
Yeah.
And my mom was there because I went to the hospital. My mom worked out, and she was like, no, something more is happening here. And the doctor and my mom fight, and like, he's fine, send him home. My mom was like, something's issue. There's something else, right? I can't remember exactly how it went down. I go to that night. So it turns out I had a polynidal cyst that ruptured and a broken tailbone. The thing ruptured it. I had blood poisoning. I had like 105 fever.
Oh my God.
They have to bring me to the hospital. I have like this surgery. They drain it. And then I had to go to college with this donut pillow.
Yeah.
Right? So, and this is like the beginning of college. There's women. I'm trying to get some. I'm not. I'm carrying a donut pillow. Right? So I'm like, this thing sucks. I had a tampon. I used to wear maxi pads and tap them to my butt because it would fill with blood. So I'd go into the hospital. I'd be changing maxi
those
pads.
Cysts are like a whole thing.
Yeah, it was disgusting. It smelled like death. Horrible, right? So, also, because I fell
Also,
at
it's
work,
crazy
the company I worked for,
because you fell at work.
I fell at
in
work,
quotes.
paid for it.
So this is what we're getting to. I blamed.
I blamed this company.
Okay.
They paid for all of my medical. They gave me about like 3 months off paid.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Did you put them out of business?
Maybe. All of that happened. Also because that happened, then I was like, I just can't. The donut pillow. So also another thing is going on is to pay for college. I had to submit the shit to give a loan, right?
Yeah.
My mom wouldn't sign the fucking paperwork because she didn't want to help me with the fucking loan because she thought I wouldn't pay. What?
Nicole, one thing, can you cut in like a half hour later when the screen goes black and then it just keeps going and going and going?
Yeah, my mom wouldn't sign the paperwork.
And it sounds like she was right and that you haven't repaid those loans.
So technically she was right. But so then I'm like, so when this all happened, I was like, oh, I'm waiting for these loans to go through. I was in a bath. I'm so sorry, guys. I go into the cafeteria at the college, and some guy comes up to me. He goes, hey, man, you want a free basketball hoop?
What?
Yeah, it's a little plastic basketball hoop, a $10 basketball hoop. And I go, yeah. He goes, sign up for this credit card.
Oh.
And then you get a free basketball hoop. I go, sure, I'll sign up. I get this credit card, which I think
the guy who never plays basketball.
yes.
And is walking around with a donut because he broke his tailbone.
So at the time, I didn't have a
targeting
donut.
You're all hoops and circles.
the medical hoop of the hospital.
So just to be
Donut
clear,
pillow.
I had signed up for the credit card before the injury happened. And
Oh.
because my mom wouldn't sign the paperwork, I put my semester of college on the credit card.
Oh.
The credit card was like 57% interest. Like it was
Oh my
fucking
God.
out of control. Then I fall and get hurt. Then I had to drop out of school, but because I dropped out of school, they wouldn't approve the loans because I had to stop going.
So there's no
now
way to
I
pay
just
the
had
credit card bill.
a $3,000 credit card bill that turned into $8,000 that I could not pay. I had no credit up until, I swear to God, a year ago. Like until my wife, whatever. Like I was, and if there's the thing, if you dodge credit card debt long enough, they forget. because it's
Oh,
gone.
yeah, that's-
Something happened. It's been 15, 20 years. They don't care. So I was at William Patterson, dropped. I don't remember why we started the story.
I don't
We-
either.
The question,
can't fall
I think
apart
the
now.
question was,
It cannot.
how did you get those first 73 college credits?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those were the college credits I had till the giant injury and the having to fall out of school, billions of dollars, never paid them back. So then the credits I got from that school, they never counted or want to give
That
to me.
stinks.
yeah,
to
it
give
could
to
be a
me.
sub.
Oh, there is one final
The
part
blame.
to the story.
Of course there
That's the
is.
big thing.
Well,
Yeah.
the blame went to this company.
Oh, okay. Oh, so I'm
They
thinking,
took care of everything.
I'm actually thinking of a different story. Okay.
There is one other piece of this story that I don't know how it makes sense. I owed them.
I'm declaring an investigation.
Yeah.
So that's
you find yourself on the database.
That was at
dude.
William Patterson.
Uh-huh.
I'd already owed Bergen Community College $2,000 that I had just skipped schools. I was like, I'm not paying them. I'm not coming back here, right? So I owed them money. Bergen Community College calls me 2007, 2000. I have no idea. They're like, hey, man, come, give us $600. We'll clear your thing. You can come back and go to school if you want, whatever. It's only be $6,000. It was originally $2,000 that turned into a bunch of money. And I said, fuck it. Yeah, I'll do it. So I save up the $600. I go to pay this bill. I give it to the lady and she goes, sorry, this was only up until yesterday. The money reverted back to the $2,000. And I said, oh, no, please, you got to take this. I blah, blah, blah. I'm just going on and on. And I'm just throwing out excuse. I'm like, I was going through a hard time, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, oh, what happened? And I went, I was like, look, this is like 2004 or 5 or something. And I went, ever since 9/11, it's just been really hard. And she goes, I swear to God. And she goes, I should not be telling the story. She goes, oh my God, did you have people in the towers? And so I said after 9/11, she takes the money, she stamps it, and she goes, did you have friends and family there? And she gives me a thing, and I said, we all had friends and family there on that day. I turned around, I walked away, and she goes, wait a minute, this says you dropped out in 2003 or something. I was like, yeah, I don't know, lady. But like, I got myself into a lie I couldn't get out, and I just was vague about it.
This is
so something like that.
That's like the most Costanza-ish thing I've
Yes.
ever heard
Yeah.
of someone doing in real life.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
had friends and family there that day.
We all were connected. We're all Americans. We're all family, I guess. So that was a lot
Wow.
to really
that is a lot.
to take the pace down. But hey,
No, I get a couple more.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
If we have time. I don't want to drag
How we
it
doing
out.
on time?
nice. Let's do one more.
So, okay, one more?
Yeah.
One more to
We
close it
can't
up.
end on that thing
Let's
I just did.
I got a couple, but a couple of them are speed round. When you order pizza, you should be able to tell them how many people you're with, and they should cut the pizza into a number of slices divisible by that amount.
Yes.
Real
In
quick before you. Oh, so go ahead.
In general, with food, like if you do appetizers where it's 3 and we're 4, like
Yeah.
let's tell us it's like $3 more. We make this.
Yeah, you should
We
be able
make
to
everybody
prorate
whole.
it. Yeah,
Mhm.
so that we get the appetizers.
They will do it with children. If I
that's-
order pizza, I go, you got to give me little slices. They go, kids pie? Oh, kids
Oh,
pie.
yeah. I know
And they'll
little
do a
slice-
little
I've seen
they give
little
little
slices.
slices.
Little slices. Good.
You're saying for the numbers, you want it to be even, so that way if it's divided, you don't have that moment at the end. Where, okay, yeah.
I just
So
love I'd love to see inside. Go, hey, Vinny, what's a divisible by 32? Hey, it's a final. They can't do that kind of math.
no,
These
they
fucking
can do
goombas.
it. They know
They
it.
have a chart.
Yes.
They have a chart. They
Yeah,
can
next
tell.
to the CPR thing.
Yeah, exactly.
CPR thing, slice chart.
Slice chart.
It's called a Gavone chart.
Like you go there. Oh, there's 3 of us. Could you give us 9 instead of 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
for
that.
sure. That's
Um,
great.
If you want to give yourself a nickname, which is frowned upon generally, you can do it, but you have to put it on a ballot referendum for the town.
Agreed.
And so if the
Perfect.
town votes like, okay, you're big guy now or whatever,
I
But
want
if
to do that
somebody-
here.
Perfect.
But if somebody else wants to give you a nickname, it doesn't have to go to
Correct.
a referendum.
you can
Yes.
just do it.
Yeah, of course.
The old school rules apply for
Yes.
other
Yeah.
people. You
I
just
wanna do
have
that
to
here.
like kind of build consensus.
You want to do that here?
That's
I
great.
want to all put in a thing where we put nicknames into a ballot, the nickname we want to be called, and then we take them out, and then we vote on which is the new nickname. Because I'll be honest, I do nicknames for my band, and I'm
Oh
very-
yeah, I
do
heard you
nicknames
talking
for my
about this. This is
band.
good.
But they gave me a nickname. I didn't want to say it out loud. They didn't call me Nighthawk, and I don't really like it because it's
You
too
don't like-
much.
I
It's a
think it's
cool
good.
I think
name,
it's good.
but I'm not cool. I want a name
You're
that's.
very
I
cool.
think you could be Nighthawk.
I think so too, but I don't know. I want to, but they voted on it,
Yeah.
and now I'm stuck as the Nighthawk.
Okay.
But I've been calling her boyfriend Chris. He gets a nickname every day. I give him a new one. It's some town and a crazy name. It's Jimmy Aruba. Vinny Hollywood. We call him Hollywood. That's fun.
That's fun.
Anyway,
That's fun.
Okay. 2 more real quick.
Great.
All TV gets a live premiere at a specific time. None of this like, oh, it's 3 a.m. and all the
Yeah.
streaming stuff.
Right.
You go,
Yeah.
no, it premieres like everything else used
Yes.
to premiere.
Yes.
And then from then on, it can live.
Yes.
That's the Talktown rule.
in.
And then the meaner the job you have, the nicer you have to be while doing it.
What's a mean job?
Interesting.
Like TSA.
Yes.
If you have like a strict job
yes,
where
agreed.
there's strict rules you have to enforce, you have to be nicer. Like if you work at a coffee shop, you can be kind of mean, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're doing a job where you're like enforcing rules or like that you have to be stern, you have to be very nice. While you're
So
doing it.
Ice Agents had to come back. Come on, man, you gotta leave. You gotta get out of here.
So I was thinking about this
That's exactly what it is.
because I do think I think we have to reimagine policing entirely in
Yes.
Talktown. I
Yeah.
don't need to get into it.
No, but
No, we
As I
agree.
said, open borders except for British Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
But I think like so, and then maybe it's like a curve because I do still think. Or oh wait, I'm sorry. The other caveat that we could add is the more you get paid for a job, the nicer you have to be while you're doing it.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I
that
think
means
so.
if you're a CEO, you can't yell at your employees.
Yes.
And it means that like preschool teachers should get paid way more because you want them to be nice.
Yes.
You can't just be like, you're making $12 an hour, be nice. You got to be like, okay, you're making a nice wage.
Yes.
And that's
So
how
you legally have to be.
you
nice.
have to be nice. We're paying you for nice.
I love the idea of a roofer who's in it to be mean.
Yeah.
Only you could do anything else, but he's like, I just love being an asshole.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
assholes in school are like, well, I know what kind of job you're gonna be.
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking.
But I do think one of the perks of if you take on a job that they don't pay, like if you're a custodian, you're
Right.
not making good work. You
Be
don't
a
have
dick.
to
Totally.
be, and the people making more than you have to be nice to you.
Yes.
Right. Oh, that's kind
I
of
agree.
perfect, man.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I agree. I mean, also like it does. I hate to bring back to like these like horrible ICE agents or whatever. It's like, hey man, look, you're doing the worst thing in the world. You could just be really nice. You could just be like, look, I'm ruining your life. I might as well like get in the car. I have sandwiches. I'm really sorry. This is horrible, but I'm gonna give like why do you have to be even meaner? You're doing the meanest thing in the world.
I do think they should stop that entirely.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the least they could do is be nice.
But I think like there are other jobs where you have to be strict with people.
Yes.
And I do think you should have to be nice in those
I agree.
jobs.
Yeah, firm but just.
Firm but just. And
Yeah.
firm but gentle. And so I think I love the idea of someone going like, I don't have it in me to be,
nice.
nice 8 hours a day. No. So it's like, I'll take the pay cut. And maybe
be
it's
a
even
dick.
an option of like, oh yeah, I'll make 20% more
Right.
and be kind to people all day.
Right.
Or I'll take the pay cut and fuck you. And
Yes.
piss me off.
And I'll
And you go,
never-
that's part of it.
I'll
Yeah.
never confront my childhood.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I'm just running.
The fuck you wage.
I also think that there should be a marking a person can get where if you are generally known as a nice person and you get enough credits to do this, you get a marking and everyone has to be nice to you.
Ooh.
You know, I don't want to walk a cafe like a coffee shop and someone's being yelling at me. It's like I've been too nice to too many fucking people
Oh, yeah.
for this lady to yell at me about about how I'm being so nice to her.
Right.
And I don't have to tip. My tip was I'm sweet.
No, I think the
No.
better you tip,
Then you could-
the more points you accrue to, especially in
Yeah.
customer service interactions.
Yeah, and also it's like if you start not tipping, that nice mark goes away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Then
right.
you earn it again by tipping up again. So you can just keep going. You get to the mark and you go down again. You get one day where it's like, well, I'll say this, right? Like sometimes I can't, like, when money gets hard, it's like sometimes I can't be tipping everyone, but I've been tipping everyone my whole life. It's like, look, I'm on tip break.
I get that.
I'm on tip break
I
for
get
a
what
month.
you're saying.
Like I can't leave $1 in every coffee shop. I used to leave 5.
Yep.
So you got to remember the days we had.
You know what the move I like is you're in like a bar fight with another guy and he goes, this guy's not going to do anything. He's got a nice mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just go, I guess I'll just build it back up.
Yeah.
Day's over. I also have one idea before we go because I forgot it. If that's all right, and then we'll go. Because I've been going to the gym. I went to the gym once, and I was like, the reason I was able to go.
I've been
back-
going to the gym. I went to the gym once.
See someone downgrade it in the next sentence.
But I'll say this:
I drove by a gym.
it was the first time I ever
Jim
went.
was just on.
I watched an episode of According to Jim.
I went to the gym, and it was the first time I ever went. When I went, hey, I did a workout, but I think I can come do this again.
Right.
Also, in this gym there's 2 people in this gym, 2 types. Unbelievably smoking hot New Jersey women
Mhm.
and 60-year-old men. And I will be honest, you could see the 60-year-old men are like, I am coming here every day because it is filled with hot women, right?
Right.
And then I was working out, and because I'm not 60, I'll be honest, I think some of them were giving me the eyes.
Just by theory of relativity.
Theory of relativity.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was like, well, I will definitely.
This is what Einstein
Yeah. Once they hit the gym for 2 minutes, they lose their minds as to the outside world.
So I was like, well, I'm definitely coming
These are
back.
the only 11 men.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm definitely coming back. And I said, well, this should be a job. They should hire hot women and hot men to just walk around gyms smiling at people so that they make sure they come back. You can make some.
Yeah.
I will come back to
It's like a
every
bottle
gym.
service girl.
Like a bottle
Very
service
much like
girl.
bottle service.
But they
But at
gotta
the
be
gym.
nice. Yes, yeah.
Water
Give me
bottle
bottles.
service.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And you'll keep coming back because you want to get those smiles.
Yeah.
You wanna get those
Making
smiles.
yourself healthier.
Yeah, I think that's how
It's a
you can
win-win
hire
for
that to
everybody.
Crunch. Crunch Fitness, yeah. And my wife, I told her, I'm like, honey, look at this, like this one, they're all coming around me, and Tina's like, oh, you're becoming your father. I go, I know, isn't it fun? Because my dad's a real,
Yeah, she's like, that's what I wanted.
yeah,
Great.
yeah.
This was great.
Yeah, Josh is
Josh,
the best.
Thank you for having me.
One
This
more,
is so
one more
fun.
plug for the
Let 'em
special
know.
details.
Positive reinforcement. It is out on YouTube at the Blonde Medicines YouTube page. You can listen as of July 11th, anywhere you listen to things. And
When is it on YouTube?
on YouTube on June 27th. So I think it'll be
Okay.
out by the time this is
Great.
out.
Yeah.
And then wait, one more plug. My wife Maris has a
Yes.
book coming out
That's right.
July 1st called "I Want to Burn This Place Down." It's so good.
It's
She's
so
a
good.
genius. And so you should buy that too, so that we can keep buying toys for our dog whenever we are trying to avoid having feelings about anything else.
Also, join the GoFundMe to buy Nicole a new Roadcaster
To send
that I
Greg
may-
to college.
which I may have broke and everyone is mad about. Check out the Talktown Patreon. Welcome
Yep.
to Talktown. And I have a podcast with Josh. The first one should be coming out. Because I was trying to say this in the beginning. I
Great.
had him on to get a good conversation and also whatever.
To listen.
That's going to be on my YouTube page.
Great.
It should be out by now if I can get around. Hopefully I got around
And
to
then pay a little extra to hear naming names.
it. Yeah. Also, you know who they are already.
Yeah.
And Alison has a book coming out.
Next year.
All right. Plans.
Well, get psyched.
I do think it's the funniest plug to keep doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
we'll
it.
keep
I do
mixing
really
We keep
like
doing it every week for 52 weeks.
And I am going to drop my book the day before.
And Alison's book is going to be script locked any day now. So
Yeah.
Here's the thing about books. They just have
please.
Yeah. Here's the thing. They just have to be words. So I can get my book done
Yeah,
before your book
for sure.
comes out.
Oh,
If I
right.
don't
Yeah,
care
yeah.
what the words are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look
And then
out
we
for
go to
Greg's book of poetry, which is coming out the day before whenever my book comes out.
But then we're going to go on a book
Which is
tour
a cool
together.
move.
And then we're going to go on a book tour together.
Yeah,
I like
most
that.
book tours don't have an opener. This will be fascinating.
Greg reading poetry
Yeah.
and then me reading an essay.
Yeah, most book tours don't start off with "Keep it going for Greg."
We're the
He
Barnes
needs
and
this.
We're the Barnes and Nobles, right? And before I bring out Allison to talk about her essays,
You read
I
some of
do
your
a
poems.
couple poems that I wrote when I was high, one draft, never corrected or
God.
spell checked.
We'll say for the one Talktown fan that is there,
Yeah.
they're like, "This is
great.
incredible."
Great things to
Everybody else is so confused.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right.
All right.
See you later. Great
Bye.
stuff.
Bye.
Welcome to Talk.